If you want to save money on your trip to Vienna, this is my first tip. If you arrive by plane, make sure to use one of the ÖBB trains such as Railjet or Schnellbahn S7. These trains are by far the cheapest options to get from the airport to the city center. Other connections, such as the City Airport train, the Vienna Airport Lines buses or cab and Uber, cost significantly more. How the journey from the airport to the city works exactly, I have already explained in this video. I will link it in the description below. Hi, I'm Grete. I'm a certified tour guide in Vienna, and in this video we will talk about how to visit Vienna on a budget. Also, if you plan to visit Vienna, you might want to check out my website gretewalz.com, where you can either book a tour with me or purchase my audio guide, which helps you to explore Vienna city center. And you might also want to check out my list of travel essentials, which might be helpful for you to bring to Vienna. I will link the list in the description box below. Okay, back to the video. Now let's find out how to eat well in Vienna without spending too much money and still having the full Viennese experience. Eating on a budget is my second tip, and for breakfast I recommend to go to a bakery. Many bakeries in Vienna have little coffee corners where you can enjoy a classic Viennese breakfast. This usually includes 2 rolls with butter and honey or jam, along with tea and coffee. And it will only cost you a few euros. For lunch, you might want to go to a restaurant and try the lunch menu or dish of the day. This is a special offer of the day, and these dishes are significantly cheaper than regular meals. And another idea for eating out, you can get a percentage off your bill if you book your table via the online platform The Fork. Even less expensive and very Vienna-like is eating at a Würstelstand. This is a sausage stand where, as the name claims, you can get different types of sausages with bread, dips and pickles. I had my favorite sausage, a Käsekreiner, which is filled with cheese, and I had it with bread, mustard, horseradish and a pickled cucumber. If you're looking for an even cheaper option, you could get a sandwich at a supermarket. Many supermarkets have a fresh counter where they prepare you a sandwich according to your wishes. There is no extra charge for putting it together, and you only pay for the bread, sausage and cheese. If you want to try a typical Viennese sandwich, order an extra Wurstsemmel. This is a roll filled with slices of a Bologna-type sausage, and usually it is served with pickled cucumber. Another option to cut down on your food expenses is to use the Too Good To Go app. This app helps to save unsold food. You just search for a restaurant or supermarket and buy the unsold food for a cheaper price. Tip number 3, how to get around Vienna on a budget. The cheapest way to do that is just to use the public transport, or if you're feeling sporty, you can also use the Vienmobil bikes. I already made videos on both the public transport as well as on the Vienmobil bikes, and if you're interested in that, I will link the videos in the description box below. And if you find this video helpful, I would be happy if you would give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Tip number 4, low-cost sightseeing. Your sightseeing in Vienna should definitely include the beautiful Ringstraße. This street encircles the city center, and along it are some of Vienna's most iconic buildings like the State Opera, the Mayor's Office or the Museum of Art History. A trip around Ringstraße can be pricey if you use one of the sightseeing buses. The cheaper option is just to go by tram or by bike. More details on that you can find on the blog on my website gretewalz.com. Another low-cost sightseeing idea, which I personally really love to do, is going up the towers of St. Stephen's Cathedral. You can either take the elevator up the smaller tower or walk up the 343 steps to the taller tower. Both options only cost a few euros, and you'll get an awesome view over Vienna city center. And of course, you can also visit St. Stephen's Cathedral itself, which costs only a few euros, unless you follow my tip on how to visit it for free. If you want to know more about that, please watch my Vienna for free video. If you're already on your way and want to do a little bit more sightseeing, you might want to check out my audio guide, which is a lot cheaper than booking a guided tour. Plus, you can customize the tour according to your interests and also your schedule.
Okay, enough self-promotion, back to the video.
Tip number 5, get super cheap tickets for concerts and shows. To save money, you should look for standing room tickets. Even the most prestigious places like the State Opera, the Spanish Riding School and the Musikverein do offer these super cheap tickets. As the name claims, with these tickets you have to stand during the performance, but they only cost a few euros. So, for example, for this concert at Musikverein, the standing room tickets only cost 15 euros, whereas the prices for seats are between 25 and over 100 euros. For most venues, you can book the standing room tickets online, but for the State Opera, you need to buy them on the same day, 80 minutes before the performance starts. But you should be there a lot earlier, since there is usually a super long queue. Next, tip number 6, save money when visiting museums.
If you want to visit a museum, don't forget to check for discounts. Many museums offer lower prices for students and senior travelers, and in some museums, children under the age of 19 can enter for free.
You can also look for combo tickets that let you visit multiple places with just one ticket, which saves you money overall. For example, there's a combo ticket called Sissi Ticket for Schönbrunn Castle, the Imperial Palace and the Furniture Museum. And here's another tip, go online and get your ticket for the Belvedere Museum, where you can see the famous painting The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. If you book online, the ticket will be cheaper. If you want to save even more money, you should watch my Vienna for free video and also check out my video on the public transport in Vienna. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips about Vienna. Thank you and goodbye!